Hi everyone. So today I want to just show you how to use the StatCan website. It took me a few tries before I kind of got the hang of what to do and how to get the information that I wanted, because it's not always the case that all of the levels of information presented in the geography actually present itself in the data to start. So, if you want more than one geography, what we have to do is we actually just navigate to add, remove data. And then in here you can actually start going through and selecting everything that you want. There's a structure to it, but if we want Canada and BC and let's say Victoria or Vancouver, for immigrant status we want the whole population. Maybe we may or may not want all of this detail, so we can remove it to keep the data smaller. And then within this segment, maybe we want the whole population, maybe we want all those things, and maybe we again don't need to go to the level of detail here. Age group, I think we just stick with here, and then let's just take a look at the last 2 years. So once you apply that, it doesn't actually really matter a whole lot what layout your data is in, because we're going to download this to load into Power BI. So there's a bunch of options. I typically start with download selected data for database loading, and this will just download everything that you've just shown. You can actually download the entire data set, and this can be useful, and it can give us some information we may want when we explore the Stats Canada web data service later. So we'll go through that. We'll go through both. Start with the database loading. It's just going to spit you out a CSV that is, fairly raw. So let's just have a look at that. So we see we've got all of the things in. A couple of the things we want to look out for, especially later if we're loading into through the web data service, these vectors or these coordinates are actually going to help us to retrieve the right amount of data or the right variables of data, so that we're not downloading a bunch of noise when we connect. So then if we download the CSV, we're going to get two files. They're zipped together. So the first is the same data set, and you'll see it's very large because it has many months of data, but the metadata file is actually very interesting, and this tells us a lot about how the data is structured. So if we look at the middle table here, you'll see that the way that the dimensions are laid out, these are sort of the first levels, the second levels, the third levels, and these will actually correspond to what position in the coordinate. So if we wanted to say Canada, that is number 1. If we want to say Vancouver, that's number 16. So if we took Canada and born in Canada, that's number 2, or number 6. And then for our third, if we chose just labor force, 2, and the last one, 4. So if we thought about what that's going to look like in terms of coordinates, that would be 1, 6, 2, 1. So 1.6.2.1. And then there's a unique vector for those that will also be something that we can call upon later. So those can be useful just to understand what some of the information means. And that's pretty much it. The only other thing I will say is that if you are just staying with downloading the information directly and maintaining either a master CSV or a folder with a number of CSVs that you load in each month. You can save your customizations. This is going to give you a unique URL that actually saves all of the variables that you have already gone through. So you don't have to redo this every time, and then you can just bookmark that, load it up, and away you go. Just add, more than likely just going to update the reference period to be inclusive of today, and that's that. So look out for that, and let me know if there's any other questions about what you can do on StatCan.